Hello, I'm Keith Groover. I'm the inventor and the designer of the Glide, and today I want to show you just the basics of how to play this thing just right out of the box using the built-in synthesizer. So to do that, all you have to do is plug something into the 1/8 inch jack that is on the bottom. I actually am plugged up to a little speaker over to my left, but you can also use headphones or earbuds if you want to. Once you got it plugged in, you just turn it on with the little switch down at the bottom, and you'll get that little beeping sound. And then from there, it's off to the races. First of all, let me talk about the controllers. I call this controller the traffic light. It's got the 3 buttons, which I'll call 1, 2, and 3. And then over here, I call this one the Coffin, which it has a bottom button and a top button. The controllers are symmetrical, so you don't have to use the traffic light in your left hand, Coffin in your right hand. You can switch back and forth. I use it this way because I am right hand dominant, so I feel better hitting like that. I'm also a guitarist, and so for me, starting a note is with the right hand. All right, the way I hold it is I put my thumb right here, and then I put my finger like that, and the motion I'm going to make is that motion right there. It's the same motion that you would make if you were playing piano or playing drums or really playing guitar, but it's just turned around the other way. And then with my left hand, I'm going to hold down the top button. With this hand, I'm going to hold down both buttons, and then I'm going to make a striking note. Then I let go, and it's done. You can also do vibrato. You can also hit it softer or harder. So softer and harder. And you get different volume sounds. And then to select different octaves, you're going to change the combinations of buttons you play over here. So it does 4 possible octaves. Lowest octave, octave 1, will be just the bottom button. And then both buttons will be octave 2. Just the top button will be octave 3, and then nothing will be octave 4, like that. Over in my left hand, the traffic light, you got 3 different buttons, and you also have a joystick, and you also have a joystick button up at the top. I'll talk about that in a minute. The buttons over here, every single combination makes a different natural note. So that's like the white keys on the piano. The order goes like this. With just button 1 is C, 1 and 2 is D, 2 is E, 2 and 3 is F, just 3 is G, and you notice it popped down an octave there. I'll talk about that in a second. 1 and 3 is A, and then all 3 of them is B, and then I'm back to C. So I get... All right, so now you combine these 2 things together, and that's how you can do an entire scale, or multiple scales and multiple octaves. So I'm going to start with a lower octave, octave 1, like that. And I'm going to do the same scale, but then I'm going to switch over to doing 1 and 2 over here in order to get to that second octave. So I get C, D, E, F. And I'm going to hold down both, G, A, B, C. So you get C, D, E, F, G, A, and go up the next octave if I keep going. So C, D, E, F, take my thumb off, just like that. And now the thumbstick, the little joystick at the top, you're going to use that to do sharps and flats. So if I'm on, say, a G, I can move the thumbstick to the left, and it'll give me a G sharp. And if I move it to the right, I've got a G flat. And then back in the middle is G. And then the final thing over here is that little joystick button. The joystick button is kind of fun because what it does is it lets you go into legato mode. So after I play a note, I'm going to hit that joystick button, and now like that, which is pretty fun to play around with. Now you might be wondering, what about all the, cool glide stuff and everything? That is going to be a slightly more advanced option. I'm going to talk about that in the next video. Real quick, the way to do it is hold down all 3 of the buttons and then hit the function button on the right hand, and now you can do all your volume, you can do your actual glide stuff, all that fun stuff. And that is about it. So I hope that's been helpful. Let me know if you have any questions, and I will see you next time. Thank you.